In a significant diplomatic development, U.S. President Donald Trump is hosting Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir for a private lunch at the White House on Tuesday, signaling a notable moment in Pakistan-U.S. military and strategic engagement. The meeting, listed in the president's official schedule, will take place in the cabinet room and is closed to the press. The rare one-on-one with the Army chief comes as the Middle East faces unprecedented volatility, with Israel and Iran locked in direct military confrontation. Amid these tensions, Pakistan has publicly condemned Israel's strikes on Iran, which have resulted in hundreds of civilian casualties. At a federal cabinet meeting on Monday, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif strongly denounced the Israeli aggression, calling Iran a brotherly country and urging the international community to work toward an immediate ceasefire. He added that the global conscience must also respond to the heartbreaking humanitarian disaster in Gaza.
सबसे पहले जो आजकल जो सूरत हाल है खित्ते में ईरान और इसराइल के हवाले से इंतहाई अफसोसनाक है और पाकिस्तान ने भरपूर मजम्मत की है। फॉरेन ऑफिस ने, डिप्टी प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने, मैंने कि ये इसराइल ने हमारे हमसाया मुल्क, बरादर मुल्क ईरान के ख़िलाफ़ खुली जारियत की है और सैकड़ों लोग वहाँ पर शहीद हो गए हैं और सैकड़ों ज़ख्मी हैं और हनूज़ ये जंग जारी है। मैं समझता हूँ कि इसके लिए आलमी जो ममालिक हैं उनको फिलफौर जंग बंदी के लिए भरपूर कोशिश करनी चाहिए मेरी। इसके अलावा गाज़ा में जो इस वक्त जो सूरत हाल है, मैं समझता हूँ कि वो इंतहाई न सिर्फ दिलगीर है, इंतहाई अफसोसनाक है। 50,000 से ज़ायद वहाँ पर लोग शहीद हो चुके हैं। मैं समझता हूँ कि इसके लिए भी आलमी ज़मीर को अब कब जागेगा।
Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar reaffirmed Pakistan's call for a diplomatic resolution to the Iran-Israel conflict, urging global powers to prevent further escalation through immediate dialogue.
In light of the rapidly evolving regional developments and the unprecedented escalation of tensions in the Middle East, particularly owing to the ongoing military aggression of Israel against Iran, the foreign ministers of the People's Republic of Algeria, the Kingdom of Bahrain, Brunei Darussalam, the Republic of Chad, the Union of the Comoros, the Republic of the Djibouti, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Republic of Iraq, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, the State of Kuwait, the State of Libya, the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, the State of Qatar, the State of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Federal Republic of Somalia, the Republic of Sudan, the Republic of Turkey, the Sultanate of Oman, and the United Arab Emirates hereby affirm the following. The categorical rejection and condemnation of Israel's recent attacks on Islamic Republic of Iran since 13th of June 2025 and any actions that contravene international law and the purposes and the principles of Charter of United Nations.
Field Marshal Munir's high-level engagement with the Trump administration comes just weeks after Indian officials met U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, an event Indian media touted as a diplomatic victory. In Islamabad, today's White House lunch is being viewed as a strategic counterweight, reinforcing Pakistan's relevance in regional diplomacy. U.S. President Trump, speaking to reporters earlier, lauded Munir's role in averting full-scale war with India, remarking, "This man was extremely influential in stopping it from the Pakistan side."
Well, I stopped a war between Pakistan. I love Pakistan. I think Modi is a fantastic man. I spoke to him last night. We're going to make a trade deal with Modi of India. But I stopped the war between Pakistan and India. This man was extremely influential in stopping it from the Pakistan side, Modi from the India side, and others. And they were going at it, and they're both nuclear countries. I got it stopped. I don't think I had one story. Did I have one story written about it? I stopped a war between two major nations, major nuclear nations. I don't think I had a story written about it, but that's okay. You know why? The people know.
Tensions between Russia and Ukraine surged this week as Russian forces reportedly struck a Ukrainian troop position near Konotop in the northeastern Sumy region with an Iskander missile. While the Russian Defense Ministry confirmed the strike, it provided no date. Ukrainian officials had already reported a missile hit in the same area on Monday, which damaged several residential buildings but caused no casualties. The region remains a flashpoint, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stating that Russia has deployed 53,000 troops there amid renewed Ukrainian counteroffensives. On the diplomatic front, Zelensky attended the G7 summit in Canada hoping to rally support. While host nation Canada pledged $1.47 billion in new military aid and announced further sanctions on Russia, the broader G7 consensus appeared fractured. U.S. President Donald Trump left the summit early to address the Israel-Iran conflict, skipping crucial discussions on Ukraine. Zelensky later expressed frustration over missed diplomatic opportunities, warning that diplomacy is now in crisis and urging G7 nations to pressure Trump for a firmer stance on Russia. Although the G7 issued a chair statement supporting Trump's efforts to broker peace and urging Russia to commit to a ceasefire, internal disagreement was evident. European leaders reportedly pushed Trump to support harsher measures, but he stopped short of endorsing additional sanctions. Meanwhile, the Kremlin dismissed the summit as rather useless, welcoming Trump's remarks that Russia's 2014 expulsion from the then G8 was a mistake. Amidst the prolonged war, Ukraine's parliament passed a landmark law allowing dual and multiple citizenship. The reform is designed to strengthen ties with the estimated 25 million-strong Ukrainian diaspora and address a demographic crisis worsened by war and emigration. The law simplifies procedures for Ukrainians abroad, refugees, and foreigners fighting for Ukraine, though restrictions may apply to Russian nationals due to the ongoing conflict. As battlefield dynamics shift and diplomacy falters, Ukraine is betting on both international support and its global diaspora to hold the line against Russian aggression. Tensions between Iran and Israel reached a critical point this week, drawing in international powers and igniting fears of a broader regional war. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei firmly rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's demand for unconditional surrender, declaring that Iran will not submit to threats or imposed peace. In a televised address, Khamenei warned that any U.S. military intervention would lead to irreparable damage.
دشمنان برای کشور پیش برد. ملت ایران نشان داد که هم متین، هم شجاع، هم وقت شناس این حرکت عظیمی که مردم در روز جشن قدیر نشان دادن به دنیا. حرکت عظیمی، اجتماعات مردم، راهپیمایی‌های مردم در همین چند روز، در نماز جمعه ها حضورشون، بعد از نماز راهپیماییشون، همه اینها نشان دهنده رشد ملت ایران و قوام عقلانیت و معنویت همراه با شجاعت و وقت شناسی در ملت عزیزمون هست. خدا رو شکر میکنم که به حمدالله این ملت مؤمن رو در این حد از توانایی ها و امکانات معنوی و مادی قرار داد.
On the ground, Israeli airstrikes intensified, with more than 50 jets targeting sites in Tehran, including missile production facilities, Iran's internal security headquarters, and, most recently, the Iranian Red Crescent Society, according to state media. These escalations have triggered a wave of panic. Highways out of Tehran are jammed with fleeing civilians, while Iran is now facing a near-total internet blackout, as confirmed by the monitoring group NetBlocks, following earlier partial disruptions. President Trump, signaling growing impatience, said, "Nobody knows what I'm going to do," leaving U.S. intentions unclear.
You've been answered questions about whether you are moving closer or you believe the U.S. is moving closer to striking Iranian nuclear facilities. Where's your mindset on that?
I can't say that, right? You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question? Will you strike the Iranian nuclear component? And what time exactly, sir? Sir, would you strike it? Would you please inform us so we can be there and watch? I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction. Why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago? You could have done fine. You would have had a country. It's very sad to watch this. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It's so, everyone thought it was going to be the reverse. I didn't think so. And I was telling them, you gotta do something. You gotta negotiate. And at the end, last minute, they said, no, we're not going to do that. And they got hit. Remember 60 days? And then came the 60. 61 is going to become a very famous number. That was one hell of a hit, that first hit. That was one hell of a hit. Not sustainable, to be honest. That's where it ended. It ended on the first night, yes.
While U.S. involvement remains limited to defensive measures like missile interception support and increased air deployments, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth stated before the Senate that the Pentagon is prepared to execute any decisions related to war with Iran, though he declined to comment on strike options publicly.
I can or should say it would be reserved for a classified setting. I would say the president, obviously, any decisions on this matter are at the presidential level. He has communicated very clearly for quite some time.
I do understand that, Mr. Secretary, but my question for you is whether you have been asked actively to provide options for the president regarding a strike in the Middle East.
If I had or I had not, I wouldn't disclose that in this forum, Senator. My job, our job, Chairman and I, at all times, is to make sure the president has options and is informed of what those options might be and what the ramifications of those options might be.
I appreciate that.
You mentioned the troops in the region.
I
maximum
expect
force protection at all times is being maintained.
Iran, meanwhile, has strongly denied Trump's claim that Iranian officials sought a meeting at the White House. In a statement posted on X, Iran's UN mission called the claim false and Trump's threats against Khamenei cowardly. The mission reaffirmed that Iran does not negotiate under duress, branding Trump a has-been warmonger clinging to relevance. Russia has condemned the Israeli strikes and warned the U.S. against deeper involvement, citing the risk of a nuclear catastrophe akin to Fukushima. Despite Moscow's offer to mediate, Iran has not formally responded. Iranian UN envoy Ali Bahraini continues to accuse the U.S. of complicity and has warned of a proportional and firm response if red lines are crossed. With diplomatic channels faltering, internet access cut, and the missile exchanges persisting, the threat of a wider war continues to escalate.